Hello guys, it's Big Dill here. This is the big one. This is the one you've been waiting on. This is where we have some fun. Today we're going to be setting up our game to have minute by minute play, different events happening, all the good stuff. So let's get cracking. Okay, so the first thing that I need to do here is I need to set up a new UI. I'm going to add a brand new page here in Pages, and this is going to be our match sim page. So to be honest, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the fixtures list page, I'm going to hold Control and press D, and that will duplicate it, and I'm just going to use that as my starting point. I'm going to make sure that I remove the fixture list UI script from this duplicated one, because we're going to be adding a new UI script for this. And I've added a new name to it, match sim page. While I work on this, I'm just going to set all the other pages to inactive. And now in the new page, I'm going to get rid of the previous week button. I don't want that. I don't want the next week button. And we're going to make some updates here. So we can actually get rid of the horizontal layout group on the match sim page. And instead add a vertical layout group. And I've just sorted that to the child alignment upper center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to update this title here. This is going to be much more like our result here. So what I'll do is I'll take these wee bits. So actually this result is what I'm looking for. So I'll take the result and I'll move it outside of the container. This container is going to hold something a bit different. So this is actually going to be our events container. This is going to be the score. And this title, I don't need it, I'll get rid of it. So what we actually need to do, we need to add a scroller, because this events is going to be a scrollable box. So the events container has to be a child of the events scroller, so let's add that. So you'll see what I've done here is I've added an event prefab. That is just a wee image. I've set the events container to control the child width. I've also fixed a scrolling issue. If you see that your scrolling list is starting halfway through, set your pivot on the y-axis to 1, then set your y position to 0, and then you should see that your list will start at the top the way that you would expect. And inside of this event prefab, we've just got a text, and we're going to add a component onto this event prefab to handle the text handling. But in the end, the way that we want this to look is we want to be able to duplicate these a bunch of times and see that we've got the scroll list working, so we can scroll through all of these. And then there is one final wee thing that I'm going to add in here to the to this new page, and I'm going to put it right up the top, just a text component. I'm going to go into Text Mesh Pro and center it, align it in the center, and we're just going to make this the time that the game's currently at. So I'm just going to drop the opacity on that a wee bit so it's not as in your face, and we'll just rename this to timer, or timer text. That's maybe a better idea. Right, so the next thing I want to do is come into Visual Studio and right click the UI folder and add a new item, and this is going to be our match sim page UI.cs, and we're going to add a second one, and that will be our match sim UI CS. This is going to go in the prefab. And in fact, what I'm going to do here is, this is just going to be for now a duplicate of the stat UI, so I've copied that in. But I'm going to rename this class, and I'm going to rename that to match event UI, because that makes a wee bit more sense. This is going to be the match event. Right now I'm just going to get it to display a message, so I mean you could use stat UI, but this we want to be able to expand on in the future, in case we want to add things like player names or different parameters. Now we're going to look at the new page handler script that we added in. So first of all, what we will want to do is come into the UI page, and let's go to definition, and we just want to add a new show method. This time we're taking in a fixture, and then with that we need to add in an on-show virtual method as well, taking in the fixture. Now let's go back to the new script, match sim page UI, and we want to inherit from the UI page. We've got a singleton here. This is all the text references we're going to need, so we're displaying the club name, home club score, and home club name, sorry, away club name and score, and then the time. We've got the container for the scroll and match events, and we've got the prefab here. We're going to store a reference of the fixture and the current time as well. So here we're just adding in the singleton, which you've seen done to death now. We're clearing the events from maybe previous matches that we simulated, we're assigning that fixture value, and then we're starting a coroutine here called sim match. And if we go down to sim match, you see we loop through 90 times, so once for each minute. We assign the current time. Right now we're just showing a wee placeholder, so we're just displaying what minute that the match is at. Then we're updating the match UI, so we'll update the text name. We don't need to do the name all the time, but we might need to do the goals, the score, and then we're showing if the match has been played, we display that it's full time, and if it hasn't, we just show the current time. And I'm just spotting a wee mistake here, we're going to want to update this one last time at the end, because right now what I'm doing is, after the 90 minutes is up, then I'm simulating the match fixture, and I'm just doing that with the method that we've implemented previously, which we will get around to updating that. So you'll see here we're using print event, so this is print event. We just simply create a new match event prefab in the match event container, which is a scrolling box. We get the match event UI, which is the wee script I showed you here, dead simple. We just show the text. And the clear events you've seen done on other pages as well. We're just getting rid of everything that's already there. Now, just come back into your scene for a second, because I did make a couple of mistakes here. So make sure that in your team scroller, which is actually, this is your event scroller, but remember I duplicated that from earlier on from another game object. Make sure that this content is assigned to your events container, otherwise it won't know what the scrolling content is. Then come into your events container, add a content size fitter and set the vertical fit to preferred size. And then what I've done as well is I've ticked reverse arrangement, basically so that the new events start up at the top. So if you do all of that, just remember you'll need to drag your event prefab into your prefabs box down here, which we set that up as a wee child object initially. I've just dragged that down into here, and this is the prefab. It's got the match event UI, and it's got the event text assigned as the text. Then if we come back to match sim page, I've added in the match sim page UI script. I've just assigned all the values, so the team 1 name, score, away team name, score, etc. The timer text, the match event container, which is the events container, and the prefab, which is the event prefab. Now, if we go ahead and we go back into the code just for a second, we do have some old references that we'll need to update here. So if you go into your UI manager, you'll see I've added in a reference to match sim page UI. So this is just a collection of all the pages. You just need to add in this new one, then you just need to assign it here and start, and then we're going to add a new method here called show match sim page, similar to all these other ones, which basically hides everything and then shows the page we want to show. It's our way of navigating through the pages. You're going to pass in a fixture here. Then you're going to call match sim page UI show, and then that is the UI page method. You're going to pass in the fixture. Then finally on here, you want to go to hide all UI and just hide your match sim page. Then come into your fixture UI, and initially on the simulate click button, you would have simulated the game, then updated the standings, and then went back to the rendering the home page. But what we want to do is just show the match sim page. So just get rid of all those existing lines and add this one in. And now with all of that, come back into your game, make sure these are all enabled again, all the pages, make sure all your values are assigned, and we'll go and simulate Cardiff and Stockholm. Let's press simulate, and you can see here we're just skipping through all the minutes. And you can imagine these ones, instead of saying the matches at minute X, it could say something like, oh, Cardiff through on goal, goalkeeper saves, some sort of thing like that. That's what we're going to build next. But aye, that's a good start, and then we see we're at full time. I just want to say, folks, before I move on to this next bit where I show you the new match simulation code, if you're enjoying this so far, I would really appreciate it if you gave the video a wee like, and if you're wanting to see more videos like this, give me a subscribe, wee cheeky subscribe, and you'll get notified when my next video comes out. Now, I mean, we'd like the match simulation to look a wee bit more like what I showed in the intro, so let's get to working on that. So we're going to need to make some wee adjustments here. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to open up our team.cs. This is the scriptable object that we set all the values for team in. And it's a wee bit of an amalgamation of loads of things at the moment. It definitely needs a clean up. But for now, leave it be and just add in public int current score. This is just going to hold the score sort of as a placeholder during a match simulation. And then add here hide an inspector, just so that we don't see it when we're customizing the team scriptable object, because we don't need to see that. And then the next bit of code we're going to be changing is in fixture.cs. Now, this is quite a hefty lot of code, which you can see through the green bar here. It's going to take me ages to get through all of it, so I've put a link to a pastebin in the description of this video where you can get this full script, okay? But really, what we're doing is, we're going to call this advanced simulate fixture, which is just going to run through all these steps. So it loops through for every minute. It does various checks for different phases of the game. So possession is like the initial build up, then we advance into the opposition's final third, then we see if we create a chance, and if we do create a chance, there's a wee bit of code here, which basically, if this value passes, it's just a random value check. If it does, then we check for a clear-cut chance, which has got a higher probability of scoring. And then if we do get that, we check if we do score. If we don't, then we miss. But if we don't get that clear-cut chance, we might get like a half chance, which is scoring attempt phase here. So then you'll just see wee littered values here, and I've varied them to make the match simulation a bit more fluid. So because it's an I numerator, we use yield return new wait for seconds, and that basically just waits before it executes the next line, and it just helps you to sort of see the events of the match as they come through. And then at the end here of one loop, we change the current possessor to the opponent and we reverse everything. We just update the UI as well. And then there's different value checks here for each phase of play, and I've been tinkering around quite a bit with these chances and random rolls. So I've anchored all the random rolls between, apart from this one here, between 0 and 10. And then I've used some kind of basic calculation. I say basic, but I spent ages footering about with it. But one thing to bear in mind, if you do just copy and paste my code, is that my stat values or attributes for attacking and defending, etc, etc, they are all clamped between 1 and 10. So 10 is the best and 1 is the poorest. So just something to keep in mind there. But I'm not going to run through all of this. Check out the paste bin, you can just get all this code. And another thing we should note here is that we're keeping calculate score. This is still used if we just press next week. Right now, here is our new method for simulating a fixture, showing the events, playing it in real time. Then lastly, all we want to do is come back into the match sim page UI, and it might seem counterintuitive, but we're going to be getting rid of a fair chunk of the work that we did earlier. But that was just placeholder to get things working. So your I enumerator sim match, we want to change it into this. So basically we've just moved the match simulation into the fixture.cs. So just make that a void because we don't really need to return anything. It doesn't need to be an I enumerator, but we're starting the coroutine in here and we're calling fixture, which is our fixture class, and advanced simulate fixture, which is that big bastard that I just showed you. Then I have updated the print event to take in a minute. So now instead of just printing the text as the set text, we've got a wee string format here where we do the minute, then a colon, and then the text. And the text will either be something like Miami misses a clear-cut chance, or Manchester are doing some good passing. Something like that. You just have the minute and the semicolon next, the minute and the colon next to it. Then just a wee new method here, update timer. So this is called every time that we change the time during the match simulation. So all we're doing is passing the time, we're setting the current time to that new time, and we're just updating the text. And then on our own show, we're still calling sim match, but we're not starting it as a coroutine now because it's just a void. So there's a wee bit of footering around going back and forward here, but the general flow of this script now is when we show it, we will do all our usual crap, then we call sim match. Sim match comes to here, we start the coroutine that is in the fixture.cs, and that is that big long new bit of code which does the minute by minute play. Then at the end of that we update the match UI, which does all this usual stuff, shows the current time, or if it's full time, which now when we call it here it's always going to be full time. We've got the print event, which we call now from fixture CS, so that is public, I should note, as well as update timer and update match UI, those are public as well. We keep sim match private because we only call it from here, and same with clear events. So now if you come back into your regame, you've done all that good stuff, and you come in and you want to see a rematch, regame of football. Let's do Manchester and Miami, the big derby of the M's. Some nice build-up play, advancing into the opposition's half. It's a goal scoring chance for Manchester. Oh, and it was saved. And Miami with some nice build-up play, they're advancing into Manchester's half, and they've lost the ball. It's criminal passing. Manchester lose possession. Miami lose possession. Manchester, some nice build-up play, and it's a poor pass. And here come Miami. They're advancing into the Manchester final third. It's a goal scoring chance. He scored it. He scored it. 1-0 to Miami. This is the sort of fun that you can have with this game. That concludes the wee tutorial here, and potentially that might conclude this tutorial series. I'll be honest, that is all I've got planned for now. However, that doesn't mean that the fun's going to stop, troops. If you want to see this tutorial series continue, drop me a wee comment and let me know what you would want to see next. Is there anything that you would want to see added into this game? Have you enjoyed the tutorial series? Have you learned something from it? Let me know. And if I get a request with enough votes, enough people wanting to see it, then I'll go ahead and I'll make a video and I'll upgrade this game a wee bit more. But listen, thanks very much for watching folks, I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.